Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Hashim Ali Khan. Presently I am giving the lectures on the subject financial accounting. In this subject, financial accounting, I am giving the lectures on the topic rectification of errors. So previous video I have given the complete explanation regarding rectification of errors. What are the different types of errors, how to rectify them. So next video I have given the video on short problems on rectification of errors. Hope my regular viewers have already watched those two videos, because the coming problems depends on the theory which I have given. So without watching the theory, you cannot be able to understand the problem. So my suggestion, please go to the playlist of my channel, select Financial Accounting 1. In that you will find the subject rectification of errors. So select that video, watch the video, then we'll start the problem. Now in this video I am starting the main problems on rectification of errors. So before starting the problem, I expect that every viewer is having the hard copy of the problems which I have given. The problems are given in the link under my description. Take a hard copy of the problem, keep it ready before watching the video. And for the viewers who are first time watching my channel, I suggest you to go to the playlist. I have uploaded a number of subjects videos for financial accounting, advanced accounting, cost accounting, corporate accounting, financial management, business studies. So many videos I have uploaded. Select your subject, watch the video, gain a lot of knowledge from these videos. Now I am starting the first main problem on rectification of errors. Now see the very first problem. Rectify the following errors. Now see here, briefly I'll recap. There are two types of errors, one-sided error and two-sided error. If it is a one-sided error, that means the error affects only one account, then simply by giving explanatory note, by giving some narration, we can be able to rectify it. Whereas if it is a two-sided error, then we have to pass a rectifying entry to rectify that error, right? That you have to keep it in mind. Now first, cash paid to Ram rupees 520. Cash paid to Ram rupees 520 was posted to his account as 250. See the error. Cash paid to Ram rupees 520. By mistake his account was debited by 250. Now see first of all, what is the correct entry when cash is paid to Ram? Ram account data to cash. The Ram account should have been debited by 520, but instead of debiting by 520, by mistake 250 rupees was only debited. Ram's account was debited only by 250 rupees. See here, cash paid to Ram 520 was posted to his account as 250. So instead of debiting 520, we have debited only 250. So how much more we have to give the debit? 270 rupees. 520 minus 250, you will get 270. So further 270 rupees we have to debit to Ram's account. So the error is there only in Ram's account. Ram's account should have been debited by 520. It should be debited by 520, but instead it is debited by 250. So it's a one-sided error. How the solution will be? See here. Cash paid to Ram 520 was posted to his account as 250. So it is a one-sided error, because the error affects only one account, Ram's account. It will be rectified by debiting Ram's account by rupees 270. Because instead of 250, instead of 520, we have debited 250. So further 270 rupees we have to give the debit to Ram's account. So on the debit side of Ram account, you should write to correction of wrong posting. To correction of wrong posting. Actually the posting should be 520, but by mistake we have taken 250. Now further 270 rupees we have to debit. So on debit side of Ram's account you should write to correction of wrong posting 270. That's all. The error will be rectified. Second, sales day book was undercast by rupees 1000. Sales day book is a subsidiary book. So whenever goods are sold on credit, we record in sales day book. So at the end of the period, for example, periodically after every week or at the end of the day, we take the total of the sales day book. And this total of sales day book will go to sales account in the ledger. So the accountant has made an error in totaling totaling he has taken less, undercast. Undercast means taken total less. How much undercasting? 1000 rupees less amount he has taken. Less amount he has taken the total. And this less amount will go to sales account. Sales account will be credited. When we sell the goods, customer account data to sales. Entry will be customer account data to sales. So sales account always will be credited. So here on credit side of sales account, there is short by rupees 1000. So the error is a one-sided error because the error is there only in sales account. And this error will be rectified by crediting sales account by rupees 1000. So it is one-sided error. It will be rectified by crediting sales account by rupees 1000. So on the credit side of sales account, you should write by correction of undercasting of sales book. By correction of undercasting of sales day book. How much? 1000. That's all. Error rectified. Now third one. Purchase of stationery 200 were entered in purchaser's book. Purchase of stationery. The entry will be stationery account data to cash or supply. Because supposing that we have purchased the stationery on credit. So entry will be stationery account data to supplier. Stationery should be debited. But by mistake, the entry was made in purchaser's book. In purchase book. Actually, purchase book mein stationery nahi aata. In purchaser's book, we record only goods purchased. Only goods purchased are there, then only we record in purchase book. But by mistake, stationery purchased and recorded in purchase book. The correct entry is stationery account data to supplier's account. But if you record in purchaser's book, the entry will become purchaser's account data to supplier account. So there are two mistakes. First mistake, stationery account should have been debited, but by mistake it is not debited. Second mistake, purchaser's account was debited. It should not be debited. By mistake we have debited purchase account. So two mistakes are there. First, stationery should have been debited. It was not debited. Purchase account should not be debited, but it is debited. So first, to make you understand, I am writing the correct entry and the wrong entry and then rectifying it. Correct entry is stationery account data to supplier account. This is the correct entry. And the wrong entry that is passed is purchases account data to supplier account. Purchase account data to supplier account. This is the wrong entry. Now, how to rectify this entry? First of all, which account actually it should have been debited? Stationery account should have been debited. It is not debited. Now we debit. Now we debit stationery account. Which account by mistake was debited? Purchases account was debited. Now purchase account should be credited to nullify the effect, to cancel the effect. By mistake we have debited purchase account. Now we credit purchase account. So ultimately the rectifying entry is stationery account data to purchases account. So ultimately it is asking you what is the rectifying entry. Rectifying entry is stationery account data to purchase account. So to make you understand, I have given wrong entry, correct entry and then rectify. Wrong entry, correct entry was stationery account data to supplier. This is the correct entry. And the wrong entry was purchase account data to supplier. There is no, error in supplier's account. Supplier's account is credited, no doubt about it. The only thing, we have to debit stationery account, we have not debited, now we debit. Purchase account, by mistake we have debited, now we credit it. That's all. The third point. Now fourth point, goods returned by Banu, rupees 1500, posted to his account from returns inward book as 5100. Goods returned by Banu. Banu is the customer. The goods returned by Banu is a sales return. Earlier we have sold the goods to Banu. Now Banu has returned. Goods returned by Banu. So it's a sales return. So entry will be sales return account data to Banu's account. The entry will be sales return account data to Banu's account. So Banu's account should have been credited by 1500. Banu's account should have been credited by 1500. But by mistake, Banu's account was credited by 5100. So here posted to his account. His account means Banu's account. Was posted from return inwards book as 5,100. So excess credit we have given. Instead of 1,500, we have given a credit of 5,100. So subtract 5,100 minus 1,500, 3,600 is the excess credit. Is the excess credit we have given to Banu. To remove this excess credit of 3,600, we debit Banu's account. We debit Banu's account. It's a one-sided error. Because the error is there only in Banu's account. Banu's account should have been credited by 1,500. By mistake, it is credited by 5,100. So Banu's account should be debited now with rupees 3,600. So it is a one-sided error. It can be rectified by debiting Banu's account by rupees 3,600. So on the debit side of Banu account, you should write to correction of wrong excess credit of rupees 3,600. Wrong excess credit given 3,600. Now fifth point. See carefully. Rupees 500 paid for new furniture was purchased to office expenses account. Rupees 500 paid for purchasing the furniture. What is the correct entry? Furniture account data to cash. This is the correct entry. But by mistake, it was charged to office expenses account. The accountant has committed a mistake. Instead of debiting furniture account, he has debited office expense account. So it's a two-sided error. One error, furniture account should have been debited, but he has not debited. He has not debited furniture account. Now we will debit. Secondly, by mistake, office expenses account was debited. Now we will credit. Now we'll credit. So correct rectifying entry will be फर्नीचर अकाउंट डेटा टू ऑफिस एक्सपेंसेस अकाउंट. फर्नीचर पहले डेबिट नहीं करे थे, अब डेबिट करेंगे. ऑफिस एक्सपेंस को बाय मिस्टेक डेबिट कर दिए थे, अब क्रेडिट करेंगे. राइट? तो आई एम राइटिंग बोथ करेक्ट एंट्री, रॉन्ग एंट्री, रेक्टिफाइंग एंट्री फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. What is the correct entry? Furniture account data to cash. This is the correct entry. But by mistake, office expense account data to cash. There is no error in cash. There is no mistake in cash. The mistake is instead of debiting furniture, by mistake we have debited office expense. So rectifying entry will be furniture account data to office expenses account. Now see, you can see here, furniture account data to office expense account. So earlier we have not debited furniture, now we debit it. By mistake office expense was debited, now we'll credit it. That's all. Last point, salary paid to Mr. X 500 was debited to his personal account. Salary paid to Mr. X. So entry, correct entry will be salary account data to cash account. When we are paying the salary, we are not concerned with the person's name. We are concerned for what we are paying. We are paying for salary. The correct entry will be salary account data to cash. But by mistake, the accountant has debited to his personal account. Personal account means Mr. X account. The person is Mr. X. The wrong entry passed is Mr. X account data to cash. Two-sided error. Because the error is salary account should have been debited. It is not debited. Now we debit it. By mistake, X account was debited. Now we credit it. So rectifying entry, salary account data to Mr. X account. This is the rectifying entry, right? So for your benefit, for your understanding, I am writing both correct entry, wrong entry, rectifying entry. Correct entry was salary account data to cash. This is the correct entry. But by mistake, he has debited Mr. X. So wrong entry he has passed, Mr. X account data to cash. There is no error in cash. The error is there in salary and Mr. X. So rectifying entry, salary account data to Mr. X. That's all. This is the end of first problem. Couple viewers, now we'll start the next second main problem on this rectification of errors. I'm reading out the problem. See carefully. Rectify the following errors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 errors are given and we have to rectify it, right? One by one we'll take. First error. What is given in the problem? Purchases of rupees 300 from Raman were entered in sales book. Actually, goods were purchased, so it should have been written in the purchase book. But by mistake, the accountant has recorded in sales book. In simple words, purchase transactions were treated as sale transaction. So we'll find out what is the correct entry. When we purchase the goods from Raman, correct entry is purchases account debtor to Raman account. This is the correct entry if we record it in purchase book. But by mistake the accountant has recorded in the sales book. So what is the entry for sales? The wrong entry, Raman account debtor to sales. This is the entry he has passed because it was entered in the sales book. The correct entry, purchase account debtor to Raman account. Wrong entry passed, Raman account debtor to sales. Now we have to rectify. It's a two-sided error because the error is there in Raman's account, purchase account and sales account. So rectifying entry. First of all, it is a purchase transaction. So purchase account should have been debited, but it is not debited. Wrong entry passed, Raman's account debtor to sales. This entry was passed. Reality, it's a purchase transaction. So purchase account now we debit. Sales account, by mistake we have credited. By mistake sales account is credited. Now we debit sales account. So purchase account debtor 300, sales account debtor 300. Now actually Raman's account should have been credited by 300. Raman's account should have been credited by 300. By mistake, Raman's account was debited by 300. Now we have to remove 300 from debit side and also we have to write 300 on credit side. So totally we have to credit the Raman's account by 600. Why 600? Because instead of taking on the credit side, we have taken on the debit side. If we have taken the amount on the opposite side, always we have to double the amount. For example, if we have to credit Raman's account by 300, by mistake we have not credited, we have debited Raman's account. So instead of crediting, we have taken on debit side. Now we credit Raman's account by double the amount. 300 plus 300, 600. Raman's account should be credited by 600. So the actual transaction is purchase transaction but treated as a sale transaction. Rectifying entry, purchases account debtor 300. Earlier we have not debited, now we will debit it. Sales account debtor, sales account will be debited. Why debited? Because by mistake we have created here. By mistake we have created sales account. To nullify it, we have to debit it. So sales account debtor. Raman's account should have been credited by 300. But by mistake we have debited. Raman's account by mistake debited. Now we credit with double the amount, 600. So ultimately, if purchase transaction is treated as sale transaction. Now rectifying entry is purchase account debtor 300, sales account debtor 300 to Raman's account 600. That's all. Now second, bills receivable received from Ramesh. Bills receivable received from Ramesh 500. Posted through bills payable book. Actually two different books are there. Bills receivable book, bills payable book. When bill is received from Ramesh, it should have been recorded in bills receivable book. But by mistake the accountant has recorded in bills payable book. So first we'll see what is the correct entry when bill is received. When bill is received from Ramesh, the correct entry is bills receivable account debtor to Ramesh account. The correct entry, bills receivable account debtor to Ramesh account. But by mistake he has recorded in bills payable. So the entry for bills payable, Ramesh account debtor to bills payable account. This is the entry if we record in bills payable. Ramesh account debtor to bills payable. Now we have to rectify. Actually, which account should have been debited? Bills receivable account should have been debited. We have not debited. Now we debit. In rectifying entry, we debit bills receivable account. Which account was wrongly credited? Bills payable account was wrongly credited. Now we debit bills payable account. To cancel. To cancel is wrong credit of bills payable, we debit it. So entry will be bills receivable account debtor, bills payable account debtor. How much? 500. Now Ramesh account should be created with double the amount. Because actually in correct entry, Ramesh account should have been created by 500. But by mistake, Ramesh account was debited by 500. Just like the previous case. So instead of crediting Ramesh account by 500, by mistake Ramesh account was debited by 500. Now we credit Ramesh account by double the amount. 500 plus 500, 1000. So rectifying entry, bills receivable account debtor 500, bills payable account debtor 500 to Ramesh account 1000. This is the rectifying entry. Now third case, an item of rupees 150 relating to prepaid rent. An item of rupees 150 relating to prepaid rent was omitted to be brought forward from last year. So last year there was prepaid rent for the current year. For example, last year was 2018 and current year is 2019. Imagine. The 2018 prepaid rent will have to be brought down to 2019. So what is the entry for bringing back the prepaid rent of last year to current year? Prepaid rent is an asset. It will show debit balance. Now in order to cancel it, we have to credit. Prepaid rent should be credited. So which account should be debited? Rent account. Rent account of the current year should be debited. So actually this 2019 rent was already paid in 2018. So actually rent belongs to 2019, but it is already paid in advance in 2018. So now we have to bring back the 2018 prepaid rent to 2019. The entry will be rent account debtor to prepaid rent. This is the entry for bringing back the prepaid rent from last year to current year. But this entry was omitted, it is saying. This entry, prepaid rent brought forward from last year, was omitted. It is error of omission. It is error of omission. Now we pass the entry. The entry will be rent account debtor to prepaid rent account. Rent account debtor 150 to prepaid rent account 150. That's it. Now fourth one. Rupees 400 paid to Mehta B. Rupees 400 paid to Mehta B against our acceptance. That means we have accepted a bill. We have accepted a bill which is drawn by Mehta B. And we have paid the amount on the bill. We have paid the amount on the bill. Was debited to Mehta N account. Wrongly debited to Mehta N account. Now see here. First of all, when we have paid the amount on acceptance, when we have paid the amount on acceptance, we are not paying to directly Mehta B. We are not paying the cash to Mehta B. We are paying the cash for acceptance against our acceptance. So earlier, Mehta B has drawn a bill of exchange on us. So it will become bills payable for us because we have accepted the bill. Who has drawn the bill? Mehta B has drawn. Now on due date, we are paying the amount on our acceptance. So correct entry is bills payable account debtor to cash. Bills payable account debtor to cash. This is the correct entry when we meet our acceptance. When we pay our acceptance. Bills payable to cash. But by mistake, bills payable was not debited. The debit was debited to Mehta N. By mistake, the accountant has debited to Mehta N account. So what is the correct entry? Bills payable account debtor to cash. This is the correct entry. But by mistake, he has debited to Mehta N account. By mistake, he has debited to Mehta N account. So Mehta N account debtor to cash. This is the entry has passed. There is no error in cash account. The error is there that instead of debiting bills payable, we have debited Mehta N account. Now rectifying entry, now we debit bills payable account. पहले bills payable को debit नहीं करे थे, अब करेंगे. और by mistake Mehta N को debit कर दिए थे, Mehta N को अब credit करेंगे. तो entry will be bills payable account debtor to Mehta N account. That's it. This is the fourth error. Now fifth error, received 200 rupees from Ajit. Received 200 rupees from Ajit, whose account for rupees 300 was written off earlier. That means we have to get 300 rupees from Mr. Ajit, and we have written off the account. Written off the account means we have treated bad debts. 300 rupees are due from Ajit, and we have written it off as bad debts earlier. Now he has paid 200 rupees. Ajit has paid 200 rupees. The correct entry is cash account debtor to bad debts recovered account. Ajit's account will not come. Because Ajit account was written off earlier by writing it off to bad debts. Bad debts account डेटा to Ajit account. ये एंट्री पहले पास कर दिए थे तो अजित का नाम चले गया. There is no name of Ajit, right? Now Ajit has paid 200 rupees. So correct entry is cash account data to bad debts recovered account. But by mistake it was credited to Amrit account and posted to the credit of Amrit account. So instead of crediting bad debts recovered account, they have credited Amrit account in another person Amrit. So what is the correct entry? Cash account data to bad debts recovered account 200 rupees. This is the correct entry. Cash account data to bad debts recovered 200. But wrong entry, cash account data to Amrit account. By mistake the accountant has credited Amrit account. Now Amrit account will be debited. Amrit account will be debited. And which account should have been credited? Bad debts recovered account should have been credited. Now we credit. There is no error in cash. Cash account should have been debited and it is debited. There is no error in cash. The error is instead of crediting bad debts recovered, by mistake Amrit account is credited. Now we bring write back Amrit account. So Amrit account data to bad debts recovered. This is the rectifying entry. Last one. Transistor sold to Karun for rupees 750. Passed through sales book twice. Wow. First of all, a transistor is sold to Karun. So entry will be Karun account data to transistor account. We are not selling the goods. We are selling an asset. Transistor is an asset. So when we sell the asset, entry will be Karun account data to transistor account. Karun account data to transistor account. But by mistake it is passed through sales day book. Sales day book means sales book. When we record it in sales book, when goods are sold. When goods are sold, it will be recorded in sales book. What is the entry for sales? Karun account data to sales. Karun account data to sales. This is the entry for sales. So here wrong entry, Karun account data to sales. But one more thing is there, it was entered twice, not once. 2 times this entry has been passed. Karun account data to sales. Again Karun account data to sales. How much? 750, 750. So 750 plus 750, 1500. So entry will be Karun account data to sales 1500 rupees. So more than 2 mistakes we have done. First mistake, transistor account should have been created. It is not created. Now we create it. Now we create it. By mistake sales account is credited. By mistake sales account is credited. Now we debit. How much sales account is created? 1500. 1500 sales account was credited. Now we debit sales account. So rectifying entry, sales account data 1500 to cancel the sales. To cancel the sales. Now transistor account should have been credited by 750. It was not created. Now we credit. Now we credit. So sales account data 1500 to transistor account 750 to Karun account. Actually Karun account should have been debited. Karun account should have been debited by 750. Correct terms में Karun account को debit करना था 750. लेकिन by mistake Karun account was debited by how much? 1500. 1500 rupees was debited to Karun account. So Karun account will be credited by 750. We have to remove it. Because instead of 750 debit, we have given a debit of 1500 to Karun account. So Karun's account should be credited by 750. So rectifying entry will be sales account data 1500. Because by mistake sales was credited by 1500. Now we debit it. So sales account cleared. Now transistor account should have been credited by 750. But we have not credited earlier. Now we credit. Karun's account should have been debited by 750. But by mistake we have debited 1500. So we have to remove 750 from debit side. So how to remove that 750? We take it on the credit side. So to Karun's account 750. This is the end of problem number 2. See here, comparatively this rectification of errors is a difficult topic. In first glance itself, you may not be able to understand. For attempting this problem, for understanding this problem, you must have a strong hold on the journal entries. If you are perfect in journal entries, then only you can understand. If you are very weak in journal entries, it will be very difficult to understand this. So before this, I suggest you to have a strong hold on journal entries. And if you are unable to understand in the first attempt itself, please watch the video again, once, twice. If it is difficult, don't leave it. Don't leave it. Otherwise, for your whole life, you cannot be able to understand this topic of rectification of errors. So my suggestion, watch it again, once, twice, thrice, then definitely you can be able to get the command. All the problems are logical problems. You have to understand what is the correct entry, what is the wrong entry, what is the rectified entry, like that. Okay, viewers, okay, my students, if you are satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Share it in your groups so that more students can get the benefit. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. And I'm waiting for your comments. Don't forget to write the comment. How do you feel about these lectures? So we'll continue the problem in the next video, in the next session.